My story references suicide and addiction. If that's heavy for you, you're welcome to step out. My name is David, and I'm an addict. It's a fatal disease, and statistically, I'm not supposed to beat it. I'll never forget coming home to empty pill bottles, strapped, hanging from the garage rafters, and a chair tipped underneath. And one voicemail telling me that the love of my life was in the emergency room after attempting to take her own life. In that moment, there was no confusion and no doubt. I knew immediately that my addiction and I were to blame. I could still hear her voice. Why do you keep lying to me? If you love me, you would stop. I finally owned up and admitted it out loud. I have a drug problem. But I swear to you, on my life, I'll never do it again. Because I love you too much. 1 week later, she accepted my proposal. 3 weeks after that, I put the pipe back up to my lips. That's what addiction does. It turns you into a liar. It causes pain. It's the only disease that convinces us in our own voice that we don't have a disease. It even convinces us that it's not fatal. But the reality is you beat it, go to prison, or die. Science and biology explain what I didn't know then. Trauma during developmental years shapes the prefrontal cortex, part of the brain responsible for judgment, impulse control, and the ability to say no. Substances deepen that damage. So let me take you back to childhood. When I was 11, my parents' divorce and mom's addiction tore my world apart. I watched drugs take everything from her. And during that time, Dad became my best friend, my rock, and my hero. And when I was 15, I watched an infection reduce my 6'5" timber falling mountain of a father to skin and bones. He couldn't roll over in bed. He couldn't speak. He couldn't swallow. I'll never forget the look in his eyes every time he left the hospital. Every time I left the hospital, both of us knowing he wouldn't be there to watch me graduate, get married, or have children. What do you say when watching your hero die slowly right in front of you? At 15, I had no idea. It sure left a mark. Life can be so cruel. After Dad died, I got a dog and moved back into our home, desperately clinging to his memory. A few months later, a neighbor shot the dog. Then my uncle was killed in a motorcycle accident. My stepbrother overdosed and died. One night, I put my fist almost everyone in my house and held a gun to my head, begging God for a new direction. My trajectory was death and destruction. So I left. I joined the U.S. Air Force and became air traffic controller. 21-year-old broken me, preserving thousands of lives a day during war. Terrifying, right? After my service ended, I returned home and picked up right where I left off. I had healed the trauma. I had beaten the addiction. And now I brought Lauren my love into it. I lost careers, friends, family. I burned every bridge I crossed. Somehow Lauren stayed, and we had 2 beautiful children. And still, couldn't stop. That's when I lost hope and she got angry. She was fed up and looking for a way out. I didn't blame her. By this time, I hated him too. After hundreds of failed attempts, with one life-changing ultimatum. Get help, or me and the kids are gone. I finally accepted one hard truth. I could not do this on my own. I immediately thrived in treatment. I had support, structure, accountability, and most importantly, hope. For a few weeks, until COVID shut the world down. But now, I had what I needed. I had a target. I knew what trauma and addiction had done to my brain, and I knew that it could be healed. So I became obsessed with health and wellness. Running became my savior. I waited for the hottest heat, the wettest rain, and the coldest snow to do my training. 50, 60, 70 miles a week, I ran. With every step forward, my brain healed a little more. I built self-discipline one step at a time. First, I targeted 50K, then 50 miles. Somewhere in all that running and learning, I found hope and a new identity, and I started listening to God. One night during a meditation, I heard the words, "Your path is in healing. Heal first." I wrote it down in my journal and completely forgot about it because at 90 days sober, after hundreds of failed attempts, all I could do was laugh. But over that next year, I stumbled into a psychology course and found a passion that led me back to school to study addiction and recovery. My wife, a now successful yoga studio owner, would tell you that despite all the pain, she wouldn't change a thing, because neither of us would be on our current path, if not for the struggle. You see, God speaks to us during our greatest hardships, and nobody is too big, too small, or too broken to be used by Him. I stand before you today grateful for the opportunity to serve my community and to give back what was given to me. Before I close, I want to thank my mom, who's been clean for 29 years, and my wife, who's been still by my side after more than a decade of lies and pain. My call to action is this: forgive yourself, but take responsibility and use your pain for something bigger than you. And with that, I thank you.